You have grades for browse available players to improve your team.
day. From Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
Well, he got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now they'll run on the draw. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Charles, they won last week despite him. Not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Working with a 2nd and 3. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
set him back 5. Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. Looking to throw. Harvey steps away to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Joe Judge has made his verdict. His guys will go for 2 here. Oh, look at this. They're not even going to get the 2-point play off. Maybe too much indecision. It's going to cost him 5 yards. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now the Giants will line up and go for 2. They're going to try and run here. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Interesting call there. They went for 2 even after the penalty from the 7-yard line. It didn't pay off.
I think the first thought is to go ahead and kick the extra point, but you're not kicking it from the 7-yard line.
Yeah,
right?
That's you get pushed 5 back on the PAT as well.
Right, so they have to take it from the 15 to administer the penalty. So now you're kicking it around 40 yards. So I understand why they probably went for 2 there. They thought they had a better play and a better chance in that situation.
So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Well, here come the Eagles on offense, and it's Jalen Hurts at the controls in his 2nd season now out of Oklahoma.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for Sanders last week, 15 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now, the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him at the end zone in this one.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. They'll roll him out, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. DeMarcus Walker able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Hurts over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
This is taken at about the 14. Powers through him. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC.
And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the...
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Matt LaFleur, he tells the offense, stay out there, go for 2.
They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure.
So their 2nd touchdown of this 1st half, they went for 2 after score number 1. Didn't get it. Now they get the equalizer, so to speak.
So to speak, and you can understand the thinking. Because they didn't get it after the 1st score, they wanted to get back to a normal points pattern, get up to 14. But just think, if they missed it here, they're only up 12-0. 1 extra point on the other side can ultimately.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Giants, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get another